Tell us about going back to when you were talking about being a fan and waiting for your heroes outside gigs. Tell us about a little bit about back in the day, you know, as Metallica were forming, when you used to sleep on the floor in the apartment of Diamond Head, the guys in Diamond Head.
The front room, as they would say.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about those days. I love the thought of Lars Ulrich of Metallica sleeping on someone's sofa.
Well, like I said, I had a tendency to, when I was really, really, really obsessed with something, I had a tendency, there was some energy that drew me to that. So I've always been very curious of nature, and I always wanted to sort of get in there and figure out like what was going on. For me, it wasn't so much, I wasn't content with the mystery behind it all, or, so I was obsessed. For quite some time, I was obsessed with this band called Diamond Head, Stourbridge in the West Midlands, just outside of Birmingham, and I flew from Los Angeles, where I was living in the summer of 1981. I flew to Heathrow to watch them play they were playing a gig in London, some small venue in the south side of the river, and I walked in and they were playing, and I watched them and hung out, and I somehow blacked my way backstage, and I said, like, I'm Lars from Los Angeles, and I've written your mother a couple of letters, because Linda Harris was the manager. And anyway, long story short, I ended up blagging a ride back to Birmingham with them that night after the show, and ended up in the singer Sean Harris's front room, and ended up staying with him and the guitar player Brian Tatler for the better part of the next 6 weeks, watching them write, watching them rehearse, riding with them to gigs. They went and played a show in Leeds. They played a couple of shows. It was Diamond Head and me in a car, like a what would they call, like a Morris Minor? I mean, literally like a car where you could barely fit 2 or 3 people, and there were 5 of us in there, and it was just really cool. And it's actually that summer, between hanging out with Diamond Head and then, like I told you about, ending up in Motorhead's rehearsal room at a place called Nomis in London. That's basically what made me want to form a band. So after that summer, I flew back to Los Angeles and called up this guy, James Hetfield, who I'd met, and said, let's form a band. And 28 years later, your brother, wanted to come meet us backstage. So that was kind of the reason that I got Metallica together. And so just, I've always had this thing about, if I was interested in something, kind of just exploring it and kind of wanting to try to get to the heart of it.
Do you think that's a kind of almost pathological obsessional type behavior, or?
I'm not sure what the clinical term is.
Okay.
But maybe, I don't know. I mean, it's obsessed. I mean, I just, when I'm into something, I'm just really into it. So obsessive behavior, sure, why not? I'll go along with that soundbite.